1972, I joined the motor industry. I was given a job as a junior salesman. Those days, obviously you had to start somewhere, and one of the duties I had was I had to fit the number plates on the cars. We were mass employed, there were 20 salesmen at a time interviewed. I was the only one that lasted. After 16 weeks, the rest were out. Our commission those days was 20 Rand per car. Anyway, I worked myself up from there, and I found my niche. I really enjoyed selling cars, and it went from strength to strength. And eventually I started owning a couple of hairs on the carpets in my office, and from there I got shares. And for 48 years I've been without any breaks with Toyota. I think I'm one of the longest serving Toyota members in the world. I've bumped my head a couple of times, but I've never given up. And you must have that will to win, and make sure that you don't start feeling like a loser. The selling is not easy. In fact, the hardest part of selling is finding a customer to sell to. After many years with my previous company, managed to buy 2 of the Toyota dealerships from them, one being in Durban, in Moore Road, and the other one being in Westville, Buckingham Terrace. Now, it wasn't easy going from a public company to your own private company. And of course, you become very fearful. So to keep yourself up with things, you've got to become quite a reader and digest everything you can, and you've got to have goals. It's very important to have your goals. I mean, I've set my short-term, long-term dream goals. I've had them stuck all over the place. In the old days, I used to even stick them behind my door of the toilet to make sure that I attain these goals. But you've got to understand where you are and what you're doing and where you're going to go, and never look back, always look forward, and just make sure you're one step ahead of your opposition. For inspiration and advice, believe it or not, I turn to my wife, Rosemary. She's been a stalwart for me. She's pushed me. She would be quite blunt with me and say, suck it up and carry on. And I've had a wife that's been supportive all along, and she's been a wonderful inspiration for me. So I haven't taken too many chances, but I've managed the risk, and we've been successful right up until today. The culture of my business is honesty, reliability, punctuality. And I've always said to my staff, no matter what happens in your organization, every year, try and up your standard of living and increase your knowledge. Don't become stagnant and don't go backwards. And keep a positive mental attitude, and don't mix with negative people. Because in every bad time, there's good things that happen. We didn't participate in the recessions, because everybody's now got an excuse for their bad performance. We've never accepted that. This is where we have the advantage. We have staff that have taken ownership. We work hard and we play hard. We don't mix the two. Today, selling has become completely different to the younger days. You've got to surround yourself with successful staff members. You've got to develop them. It takes time, training, lots of training. And your prime focus is your salespeople to get out, market, sell the product, and make sure they get repeat business. Because you can sell to anybody once, very easy. The art of selling is to make sure you get repeat business. And that's how you build up your clientele. Because today it's a relationship you've got to form with your client. There's no second chance. To lose a customer is a matter of life or death. If you don't have retention in the business, you're not going to last. That's what gets you through the tough times. In the motor industry, we measure it over a 10-year period. You have good years, you have bad years, and you have average years. But you must make sure that your cash flow is right. Asset management, very important. It's another profit center. And you've got to have sufficient funds to carry you through in the bad times. But it's so important to continuously keep contact with your client. What I expect from my employees, I expect honesty from them. I expect to be able to depend on them. And I would like to know if they do have domestic problems or family problems or financial problems. I'd like to be aware of what's going on. They're not numbers, they're not machines. They need to be taken care of. And a lot of people are scared to come, although there's an open door policy, the actual staff members are scared to cross that threshold and come and discuss it. They must have trust in you and question you. They mustn't just accept everything. Management is a two-way thing. It's up and it's down. So whilst you must manage your staff, they must also manage you, in a sense. And we have so many challenges in the industry today. We've just got to make sure that we stay on top of it, and you must be able to adapt to the change, because that's the only real thing other than tax that you guaranteed in life is change. For the next 5 years in the company, now that I've appointed my son as the Group Managing Director, Charles Rieckhoff, he's worked in every different department. As a father, I suppose I was very hesitant to hand the business over. It's not an easy decision to make. But anyway, in hindsight, it's been the best thing I could ever have done. He's revived a lot of excitement in the business. And so for me to be able to rely on Charles, he's become extremely reliable. He communicates with me daily. And I'm glad to see he's making decisions. And he seems and appears to be the staffer behind him at the moment. And I must honestly say that Charles deserved this position. He wasn't given this position lightly. He deserves it. I made sure that he has full knowledge of everything, the finances and the whole lot. And I'm very proud of that, and may go from strength to strength. But to wrap it up, if you have that will to win, and you need to succeed in life, and you're hungry, you can make it happen.